Hello everyone, thank you for joining in. Mo's here from WVW Networking Solution, and today we're going to tackle one more thing about this UISP router / console. So today we're going to do something different. We're going to switch our WAN, main WAN to be number 1 and main WAN to be number 2. Okay. Now, if you are using fiber, if you're using a SFP as your input, not SFP to RJ45, SFP, the router will work functionally normally. It will detect that the interface go down when you lose fiber, and it will automatically switch you to Ether 9. But because we are using SFP to RJ45 and you have his own chip on it, so it will stay always on. So the router cannot literally tell if it's up or down. But on this video, we're gonna take number 8 and number 9. Number 9 and number 10 are the bridge, and we're gonna take number 1 and 2 are the switch, and then we're gonna assign number 1 as a DHCP and number 2 as a DHCP, and then we see how we can. This is just another thing in case you need to do this for any reason. Okay, so I always love to leave my 10 gig interfaces for switching. That way I can play with the NTUs a little bit and stuff like that, but I don't want to if I don't have a 10 gig available in my WAN, there is no reason I'll use that resource for that. I'll just use RJ45. So by doing this and by allowing your switch to connect to the 10 gig, what you're doing now, you just increase in the performance of your equipment, not to access the internet, but to be routed internally. All right. Let me pull up the controller right here. So in this particular one, I'm going to try to log in to the UISP controller through its LAN side. All right. So I believe I can look at here and find out what's my LAN side. And so 10.10.01. All right. So let's go ahead here and put 10.10.0.1, and we got the warning, and we're going Ubiquiti, and I'm gonna go ahead and grab that password real quick. I don't want the access. Remember last time we did remote access? We're not doing this now. We're doing local access. Okay. So let me grab the password. This one. View it, copy it, and go ahead and put it here and sign in. So now we access the controller through its LAN interface. All right. Okie dokie. Here I'm gonna change the console name. WVW-lab. How about that? Save it, and we're good. And we can add a DNS. See, it took the DNS by DHCP, but I'm gonna add 8.8.8. Save it. Now we're gonna add 1.1.1.1 or whatever your preferable DNS is. Here you go. So we have the 2 external DNS in here. And now, oh, we didn't save it. Save. Okay. Now let's go ahead and work with this a little bit. So today's project is to switch our WANs between 1 and 2, right? In this case, and the reason I put myself on the LAN side, that way if I start messing with this, I won't get disconnect, because if I'll still connect through the remote, I'm probably gonna kick me out. So we're gonna try to avoid that. But I have two WANs anyway. I can access from anyone I want. All right, let's do this. So now as we can see, we have access to the internet. But if we're gonna change this, our WAN 1, and this is our WAN 2, we're gonna have a problem with the NAT. Remember, we are NATed at port number 9 and port number 10, so we have to go back and switch these out. It's just a process. All right, let's go back to the switch now. The main switch, edit interface. So we see 1 and 2 there in the switch. Just remove them. Now 1 and 2, they're not in the switch chip of the router. And in other words, so you can come here to number 1, put a DHCP and save. Do the same thing for number 2, DHCP, and save. Now confirm. Great. Now when you are from the LAN side, the changes will happen right away, so you don't have to worry about that. If you screw up something, you'll get kicked out right away, so you will notice it, and that's the advantage of doing it. But remotely, yes, you can do some changes, but you have to be a little patient. All right, so now what we need to do, we're gonna remove number 10. Yes, we're gonna remove number 10. Okay, and we're gonna add it to number 1. So number 1 should pick up an IP address from the 10.85.85 something. Let's plug it into number 1, and we should see something in here. So we see some numbers. We should pick up an IP and number 1. Let's give it a minute. Let's refresh it. We should have an IP here. So let's do this. Let's remove number 10 from the DHCP and see what's going to happen. There we go. So now we have the WAN 1, it's number 1. Let's do the same thing for this one. Let's take out number 9 and move it to number 2, right? So see, now automatically switch that number 1 is my main WAN. And let's go to number 9. Number 9 and remove the DHCP, leave it enabled. Now see, number 2 picked up, so now my WAN 1, it's number 1, and my WAN 2 is number 2. And if we come down in here, we lost the internet because we're not longer NATed. All right, and I think I lost everything. It close up. Oh, yeah. Okay, give me a second. Let me look back in. So we were actually in Chrome. We're still here. Sorry. All right. So now number 1, number 2, but unfortunately we don't have no internet, and you know why? Because we have to go and fix the NAT. So number 9, it's free now, and number 10, it's free, right? Number 10, it's free. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to go in here to the switch. So I want number 9 to be, not number 9, I'm sorry. I want number 10 to be part of the bridge. So I'm going to go to the bridge, edit the interface of the bridge, and guess what? Now I have number 10 and number 9 available to be bridged in this interface. So in another word, I can have number 10 to be my LAN also, and I can also have number 9 to be my LAN, but I'm going to leave number 9. So now what happened? I have 2 10 gigs in my LAN side of this controller, and I'm using 1 and 2 as my WAN side, which is great. So now if I want to use an OLT and a switch, so I can attach number 10 to an OLT, it's 10 gig capability, and then I'm going to attach the other 10 gig to another switch in case I need it for something else. So you see now how you can move things around and not let it tells you how it goes. You can decide the way you want it to be. All right, so now let's fix that NAT issue, which is, and I think it did fix itself, but we still have the problem here. So here the destination, see, we still don't have internet, right? Let's confirm that. I just don't want to jump from step to step. Yeah, this one, it wants to work when it wants to work, and it doesn't want to work when it doesn't want to work. Okay, so now we don't have no internet. Our local network is okay. This tells us right here. But the internet, we're not accessing the internet. So let's go right now and change that. So we're going to change this to port number 1, right? Let me, for some reason, the screen is always big. Number 1, and save. and then we're gonna come here destination, and we're gonna change it to number 2, and then save. Now what happened? Let's give it a minute. Let's play with the tools here a little bit. Let's ping from the router. 8.8.8. And here we go. So we got some ping coming out of the router. Everything is fine. Let's trace route 8.8.8. So as we can see, the router is able to exit from here, right? All right. Now let's see why we are not having no internet showing up in here. Well, I'm going to assume there is probably a good reason why. Let's come back in here. So we see here that port number 1. Let me try to do something. Speed test. No? Okay. So let's get here and open up speed test. And then just let's run a speed test and see. Here you go. So my computer is having access to the internet with no issues. So here, everything should turn green. There you go. So you can see how we moved the interfaces to work with the way I'm not worried about this at all. But here the goal, as you can see, we were able to move interface number 1 to be here and interface number 2. So let's now go back to the NAT. Go back to the firewall rules. Nope, not that yet. Sorry again. The route. And here, see, it did 35, 36. So I'm going to do 10. I'm going to do 10 here. 10. Yeah. 35. Let's change it to 10. And this one, let's change it to 20. So we're going to verify the same thing. This keyboard battery is done. Alright, so we have 1020, and if we go back to the main page, we'll see number 1, it's our main. Number 2, it's the backup, and we can see it here. If I go to traceroute and I start the pinging, it's going from 10.85.85.1. So just to show you here, oops, pull up the wrong one. So number 1, number 1 and number 2. Let's pull number 1 out. Let's pull number 1. I'm gonna pull it, but at the same time I gotta pull the screen in here. So we're gonna pull number 1, and we're gonna watch the ping, what's gonna happen to it. So we put a number 1 out. Our 1 is out. So we didn't lost nothing. Absolutely, the switch was right away. The reason we had that problem, a little bit of delay before another one, because it's RJ45, top of SFP plus. It's, yes. But you see here, it happened right away. It was not even a second delay. Okay, now let's put it back. Put a number 1 back in. And automatically give it a second, and it should switch to number 1. No, not even a single glitch. Well, just a bit, boom, and then back on. All right, so we see here how we can change interfaces. Now, if I go to my bridge, so I know that number 10 and 11, which is my main 10 gig, which is what I need them for. We don't usually use the 10 gig to exit the internet because we're limited at that point. If we are at the data center, yes, we're definitely going to use this with our upper stream uplink. But because we are in a site and we know the maximum we have is 1 gig, so there is no reason to waste that 10 gig interface exiting while you can use it internally to make your NTU bigger and make the system perform way better before exiting the internet. That way you don't have congestion. That's what we're trying to do. So I think this video is done. That was a quick one, but here you can see how easy you're able to manipulate these things. And in the next video, I will be doing some bridging. So we're gonna create a switch before the router. All right, definitely sure. I'll see you in the next one. Talk to you later.